Call me a dirty, stinky liar. I said I wasn't going to be here, and I made it fast. I made it furious. I'm live, and I'm in living color with my two best friends in the whole friggin' world. TJ, who's mostly hammered, or was hammered. He's trying to recover right now. And the Rook in the house. Welcome back, boys.
Cheers, Nick. Cheers.
Cheers, Govs.
What up, gentlemen?
Cheers.
Not much. About to watch my Giants get beat up on. So it'll be fun.
I'm not a big fan of the Amazon like Prime, the game. I'm still not a fan of it because every week, without fail, on Thursday, I throw the TV on and I'm like, "There's the football game on. Where is it?" And I'm like, "Oh, right."
Those
go to
guys.
the apps.
I don't like the Prime. When the Yankees play on Fridays, they always play on Prime or Apple TV, whatever it is. I hate it. I just don't like because when there's a lull in the game or there's a commercial, you can't just switch to channel. You have to like go to another input. I don't know if you guys. I don't have my cable wasn't connected.
No, yeah, I think absolutely. You got to change your input. You got to switch off the app, whatever it is, and then it takes a few like. I understand 20, 30 seconds is not a long time, but in today's age of I want it now. When I switch off my app and I'm waiting for the TV to load back up, it's like, oh, this is bullshit. I'm trying to avoid the commercials. So I only have like 2.5 minutes to kill.
I was going to say, commercials are 3 minutes-ish, kind of. 30 seconds is a long time.
It is. Yeah. I agree.
Big chunk.
I hate when my team plays it Thursday night because if the game's bad, I can't flip to another game. Like, you can't like put red zone on. I'm like, that's why I hate Thursday night games.
I will say that in my old age, I have gotten to a mode where I used to get angry about sports and just continue watching all miserable. It's gotten to the point like I wasn't home on Sunday to catch the full effect of the Jets game, but if I were home, I probably just would have turned it off and put on something that brings me some sort of happiness.
Yeah,
because like I'm getting to that age where I'm like, well, we don't live long enough to be miserable over something so trivial.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It still hurts.
It hurts, but I'm not going to sit there and torture myself over it. And it's like once upon a time, I would have, like back in the day when people still used Facebook, I would have just sat on Facebook and just badmouthed the Jets for 2.5 hours, 3 hours through the post game. Like I'd be through the post game, like look at these idiots talking about it. Like Ray Lucas used to piss me off to no end because I'd be like, where was all this quarterback wisdom back when you played? You sucked. But since we're talking about it, let's get into it. Go Big Blue. I love the fact that the Jets one is clearly fans actually saying Jets, 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 Jets. And the Go Big Blue is definitely a computer simulation because nobody's ever said that.
I've never been to a Giant game and hear them go chant, Go Big Blue. Go. Never.
But all that being said, a couple things. Giants play the Niners tonight in San Fran. So you don't have to worry about anybody getting injured because they're not playing at MetLife. That's the first thing. The second thing is the first person they showed coming out of the tunnel was first round pick former first round pick Kayvon Thibodeau. Rook, what are your thoughts on Mr. Thibodeau's season thus far, and what he brings to the table as the edge for the New York Giants?
Mr. Primetime, as he called himself, he said about himself that he's prime time. So hopefully a primetime game wakes him up, but not too happy the first 2 weeks. He's got one QB pressure in the 2 games. Obviously no sacks. Yes, last week against the Cardinals, obviously a lesser team. I mean, the Giants aren't that amazing.
Are they?
They are. They are. They are. I know you don't think it because the Giants are not playing as well as they should be, but they're a lesser team, and he had no tackles for loss, no sacks. He had nothing. He showed up in the stat sheet by 0. Okay, and that is bad for a first-round pick, especially someone who was a top 5 first-round pick. I expected big things out of Kayvon. He had that one great game against the Commanders last year, and I haven't seen much from him since. So
that's not true. He hurt somebody and then celebrated at their expense after the fact. That got him some back page, some press.
Right. He did the snow angel when he injured Nick Foles the game against the Colts. So
and then he said, "I didn't know he was injured except for the part where I touched him with my arm and then looked at him and then I kept going."
Yeah, he still kept doing it.
I thought he was doing snow angels with me.
He he's joining me in the fun. No, I mean Kayvon, it's still early in his career. I'm not giving up on him. It's only 2 games into his second season.
You shouldn't.
So I mean, I'm hoping it goes up from here, but I just don't hope. I hope that he does not become like a Ojulari. Ojulari is like a complete bust. I mean, he's always hurt, and when he does finally play, he's 0 impact on the game.
Do you feel that I think we all know that Kayvon Thibodeau did get a lot of negative I don't even know what to call it, but basically pre-draft, there was a lot of negative conversation about him with regard to his dedication to the game. Do you feel like maybe some of what we're seeing now is based on those pre-draft ideas about him, that he was never really about football. He was just about making money. And now it's gotten to the point where he's already made the money as a first-round draft pick, especially top 5. He's already come into a large sum of money. And now it's all right, I'm going to wait until it's the time for me to get re-signed, and then I'll start producing again.
I mean, that could be the case. He could be waiting for his, 4th or 5th season to really cash in that big payday. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's something missing right now from him. Why he's not hitting that next step or foot on the pedal, going to full throttle and just making the next step here. But he's not doing it. I don't know. It could be. I mean, I can't say exactly. I mean, there was that last week when they were winning, they came back, were winning the game, and there was a video of him. They panned over to just him by himself, not celebrating, just sulking in the corner now with the rest of the team. So maybe it could be that attitude problem that he has. I mean, your team just came back down, they down 20-0 and then 28-7, and they came back to win the game 31-28, and you should be celebrating with the team whether or not you were an impact or not. It's a team game, team sport. You should be happy, not sulking in the corner because you had a 0 on the stat sheet.
I mean, TJ and I have seen somebody who did that. He didn't last long in New York, and he's not doing too great in Cleveland either. So definitely, I can't sit here and say that's a good sign. I understand being a little down on yourself because you feel like you didn't contribute to the party. Yeah. At the same time, you still go up to your teammates and go, "Hey, man, I didn't have a great game, but you guys played a heck of a game, and I got you next week." But you definitely don't sit in the corner sad about your stats, about what you did. Sad. I could see sitting there after the fact being like, if the press asks you a question, be like, "Man, I just wish I would have joined the party." And I think TJ and I haven't been teammates for so many years. We've both felt that way at some point where everybody gets invited to the hit party but you. And you're just you're not sad that you won that day. You're just sitting there kind of all right, well, we won. Damn, I wish I could have been a part of it. You're definitely not sad about it.
But you know what? Honestly, it's crazy because at least with baseball, if you're not doing it offensively, you can do it defensively, or just make sure you're in a position to put yourself where you can make a play or do something big. And if you're not, I don't know, dude, the self-centeredness and then the, I guess, under excitement to be playing a professional sport on TV, it's embarrassing almost because what are you doing? You should be amped up. You're a young man making a shit ton of money. You're on TV. You're in New York City, and you're playing the sport that people would give their left leg to play just for 10 seconds. At MetLife Stadium, and there's just no fire. There's no passion. I don't get it, dude. And again, I always laugh, and not to make light of mental health issues and stuff like that, but I mean, growing up, did you ever hear pro athletes doing the poor me, I have mental health issue bullshit? It must be
it's a different generation.
But dude, it's embarrassing. There's people with real fucking problems out there, and these guys are I'm I need a mental health day because I'm just struggling to get by.
You know that reminds me of
my tire third Mercedes.
That reminds me of. Have you ever seen 61? There's a part where one of the reporters is scrutinizing Roger Maris, and he goes, there's not a single man in America that wouldn't give his right arm to play right field for the New York Yankees. Not a single one. And he doesn't seem to appreciate that. And it's true. There's not a single man in America that wouldn't die to play end for the New York Giants or any football team professionally, for that matter. If I had the size, the build, and the health, I would love to play professional football because I love the game, and I enjoy the competition in general. And some of these guys really don't appreciate it. But these are Kayvon Thibodeau's comments when asked about why he was sitting alone on the bench. And he said there's a lot of people who want to game, who want to coach and want to create narratives. But as long as I stick to the game plan and my coaches and my team are happy with what I'm able to do, whether it be drop back or whether it be hold the edge or whatever it may be, I'm just happy to contribute. He addressed
he's not contributing.
This is from Fox Sports, by the way. I think when you play the game, you start to realize I'm only answering like this because I know there's videos and there's always narratives being put out. But when you're in a situation where the fate of the game lands on one drive or one situation and you're kind of those people, the defense are the guys who are looked at to answer that. The only person I look to is God, which doesn't really say anything about why he was sitting on the bench.
It was a whole lot about nothing, then, basically.
Yeah, I guess he said that, like, in that moment, he said in that moment. So I'm sitting in that moment, I'm praying. I guess you could kind of say I'm meditating, visualizing what we're going to do as a team to go out there. So for me, it's kind of like too many people that wake up and want to put negativity out there. And it's like for us to come back and win a game, it's nothing but positive. And I don't disagree with that.
Where's the passion? Where's the fucking love? Where's the excitement? Where's any energy? A shred of energy.
You know what though? There's different things for different people, and it takes all types to move the world. If you think back to like the old Yankee games or Yankee days, or even the old Jets days, Curtis Martin was not the guy to go rah-rah on the sidelines. He wasn't. He just played the game. He was a grinder. He went out there. He did his job. He did it well. Bernie Williams was not a rah-rah guy, and a lot of people thought that he was very flippant about the game because he wasn't sitting there breaking water coolers. It's just that's his approach to the game, like not that he doesn't love the game, not that he doesn't respect the game, and not that he's not excited to play the game. It's just that like there's Paul O'Neill's, and then there are Bernie Williams, and there's room for everybody because everybody can't be Paul O'Neill. You'll run out of water coolers, just like everybody can't be TJ Doyle's. You'll run out of water coolers. So I'm not.
We never once had a water cooler on our bench.
Say that again.
So we never once had a water cooler on our bench.
We actually did.
However, many garbage cans have gotten thrown.
That's true. One time the reason that you can't have that is because one time I went full TJ and I threw my bat and I almost killed TJ. And then TJ was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I was just like, "Bro, like the one time I throw my bat." The one time.
Yeah, but that would have been like the only hit you had that day.
That's why I threw my bat. It's like we have a friend named Pete, and Pete never talks back to the umpire ever. Never says an unkind word. Half of our team would curse the umpire out. Nothing would happen. The one day Pete says something like, "That ball was outside, Blue," the umpire says, "One more comment out of you, and I'm tossing your ass out of the game." And Pete was just like, "Oh my God, like I never say anything." The one time, like everybody, this guy told you to go screw your mom. I just said that was outside. Everybody can't be the same way. Man. So I don't have a problem with Kayvon Thibodeau sitting there on the end, and he said to say he's meditating. I guess take him at his word. I don't believe him worth a damn because based on his performance,
but that's fine. That's an acceptable answer if you're showing up to the game and you at least look like you're giving that effort. That effort out of a second-year player that's young, strong, picked so high, and he's a non-factor. He's not a difference maker. So you're not doing it on the field with your play, and then you're on the sidelines and it looks like you're fucking pouting, and then you want to give just like, "Oh, that's just kind of how I am," and if I'm meditating in that situation, it's like, dude, bullshit. You can't. Your play can't give the sense of I don't really give a fuck and I'm not really all there on the field. I'm not I'm not going to give it 110%. I'm not going to take a ball to the eye. I got to worry about, life after baseball, right? The Roger Dorn fucking bullshit. He's not, it doesn't seem like he's giving it his all on the field. And then he's like, not to use your word, but flipping on the sidelines, just not even there, checked out.
So the only reason I don't believe it.
You're building a case against you and everything's going the other way.
I don't believe his whole meditation thing is because guys that celebrate getting sacks by doing snow angels next to dying bodies are not the type that don't rah-rah on the sideline. Because when the Giants were winning,
I agree with that.
Going up to the fans going, go to sleep. He was very vocal. He wasn't meditating.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
When you're riding high, you're not meditating, but when you're losing, you're meditating. Stop it, dude. You're sulking on the sidelines, crying. You're crying, bro. Like, it is what it is.
I do want to say about that last game. I know
but the thing is,
sorry.
No, God.
No, I know we're having a delay on you, so I didn't know you were talking. My bad. I was just going to talk about Danny Dimes, but you go ahead because you're talking about Kayvon. So go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that it, like, I equate it to like my favorite sport is hockey. I played hockey my whole life, and you might not be scoring goals. You might not be setting people up with beautiful assists and stuff like that, but you could still go out there and be a playmaker and be a role player. You can get in somebody's face and just get in their head. You can get in the fucking quarterback's head. Maybe put little extra oomph after a play. You know what I mean? Just get in somebody's fucking face and stir the pot a little bit, especially in a violent sport like football, where they will let you get away with a little nastiness, a little elbow rubbing. You know what I mean? It's just, there's ways to, if you're just not there or you're not getting to the quarterback or you're not making, a difference on the field, you could still try to get in somebody's head and just try to be out there playing a role. And you don't even get that out of him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I don't know, something needs to happen. Hopefully tonight changes that, but I agree with you guys. I don't want to, I know we've probably been going on with him for a little while, so I don't want to say anything further, but I guess I think TJ doesn't realize his mic's still on. But
yeah, I guess not. I was just trying to move my shit because my Wi-Fi is not picking up that great.
It sounded like you were like breathing really hard into the microphone.
It did.
I was like, just mouth breather. Hold your mouth, man.
But what I wanted to say was moving on from Kayvon about that game last week was that second half from Daniel Jones actually was, I think it was pretty incredible. I think it was the first time anyone threw for like 250 yards, rushed for 50, and then had 3 total touchdowns in a half. I mean, I wish they'd do that over a course of an entire game. I don't want them to start slow like they have been the first 2 weeks. I mean, we're watching them now. They just gave up it was a 3rd and long, and they gave up the first down. So we kind of want defense to step up, kind of want to make a stop, and not, play trailing the entire time. So I'm hoping this week's different, but we might see the same old Giants at this point.
So for me, at least, when you're talking about a team like the Cardinals, who I think everybody in the NFL between the Bears and the Cardinals, we're talking about number 1 overall pick, right? Yeah. I don't see either team doing much of anything. And we think of them. I'm thinking one of them is going to have the number 1 overall, either them or maybe the Panthers. They're going to have the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
In that instance, do you relish the fact that you just beat up on arguably the worst team in the NFL?
I don't relish on it. I just think
are you pounding your chest going, yeah, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and I run for 100 against the worst team in the NFL?
No, but I think it's still an accomplishment that he still has done.
I think it would be more of an accomplishment.
It doesn't matter against who it is. I mean,
I think it absolutely does matter who it is.
Oh, Aaron Judge hit number 61 against the Pirates last year. You're going to say, oh, he hit the 61 off the Pirates?
I'm saying is if he would have hit 61 home runs only off the Pirates, then yes, it would have been no big deal.
I don't think you do that. And I think when I'm not relishing the win. I'm not saying like I'm pounding my chest, New York Giants, here we come. We're going to go win the Super Bowl. But it's nice to get a win. And with the way the fact that game started and to win that game, the comeback that they did, you still got to take pride in the fact your team won a game in the NFL. It's still the NFL. You know, they're playing for the number 1 pick. You still got to it's still the NFL. You still got to beat the team in front of you.
I'm a Florida State fan. They beat Boston College this weekend by like 2 points. I'm not sitting here pounding my chest that my number 3 ranked team beat an unranked team by like 2 points. I'm devastated by that. And now they're no longer the number 3 team. And the Giants, who have
had bang in my chest.
The Giants fans who talk about how the Giants made the playoffs and the Jets suck. I don't know why everybody's giving the Jets all this respect. You barely beat the worst team in the NFL. And you're sitting here going, good for Daniel Jones. He threw 300 yards.
You're focusing on
had an accomplishment.
You're focusing on stupid fucking fans on Twitter and shit, though. In all reality, you want to bounce back after a detrimental loss to Dallas where you didn't put up any points and your team showed zero signs of life, right? You bounce back and you get a win, whether it's against, a great team or a shit team, you still got the W. What do they do? Six quarters of no score ball. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
So for them to get that win the way they did to show little signs of life, you do have to appreciate it. And honestly, anybody will tell you after a brutal loss, if you can get a win right afterwards, at least, because dude, if they would have lost that game, then they're 0-2, and that's how you start a fucking skid and a half, bro. Where now everybody's pressing. So I think it's very important to get that win regardless of who it's against. But don't focus on the stupid fucking fans that are like sitting there after week 1 in Dallas. Oh my God, they suck. And then they beat the Cardinals. Like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. It's like, you're fucking stupid. Stop.
And most of the fans that I interact with Twitter were like, we're losing this game. Like, we don't have any hope whatsoever. Like, no one was like, I know some fans do that where they're like, oh, we're going to San Fran. We're going to win this game. Jets suck. But that's not, I'm not like that. You guys know me. I'm not pounding my chest. I know what I watched. I saw them be outscored 60-0 in 6 quarters of football. I stopped watching the game at the half, and I went back and watched it because I wasn't going to waste my time on a shitty team again or a shitty performance by my team.
They needed to win. They needed to win there, dude. And just look at the contrast, right? The Bengals really needed to fucking win against the Ravens, and they didn't get it. Now they're 0-2. The most overpaid, hands down, quarterback in the league. He's 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
By the way, Kayvon Thibodeau just sacked Brock Purdy a couple plays back.
Yeah, I did see that. That was nice.
Then he got up and he immediately started meditating while doing the robot.
Yeah, I saw that too. And then they gave up a third and 8. He started meditating. And then they gave up 3rd and 8. So they can't get off the field, the defense. So it's nice. They're on 3rd down coming up here, but I don't know if they're going to get off the field again. So who knows?
By the way, I just want to point out that Kayvon Thibodeau got that sack off of a chop block from the right tackle. The same chop block that got Aaron Rodgers killed.
Yeah, and then I don't want to take it away from him. He still got the sack, but like Leonard Williams was on the pressure, and that's why
I think it's still the sack. I'm not going to sit there, but I'm just saying is maybe we stop doing this chop block bullshit. Doesn't seem like it's working too great right now.
Yeah,
really.
But why don't we move on to your Jets that you guys are talking about the Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I just wanted the last thing I wanted to bring up about the Giants is Saquon Barkley out today, as is Joe Thomas is also out. Joe Thomas, not Joe Thomas. Andrew Thomas. Joe Thomas is a white guy that used to play for the Browns.
Yeah.
Andrew Thomas is not a white guy who plays for the Giants.
Yeah.
Joe Thomas is in the Hall of Fame, I believe. He went in this year.
Yeah, I think he did.
So that big blow for and your boy Aziz Ojulari is also out,
which he's always out, so it doesn't matter.
So
and the Niners just converted on like the third down on this drive. So
we'll see how the Giants offense succeeds today without Saquon, because I'm sorry I didn't bring that up like that.
I'm watching the game.
It must be a little
chance for a pick, and they didn't really.
Yeah. So
back,
New York Jets.
There you go, Jets.
The New York Jets. Dude, tough loss. I think the one thing that I focused in on after the game, and trying not to focus on like the negatives, because there was a lot of negatives. The defense didn't play well at all. The offense was okay. I mean, you saw some good plays from Zach Wilson, but very anemic. The one thing that I'm not ready to give up on, and everybody seems to be like, especially news media in New York City, is like, I think the Dalvin Cook experiment's dead. Like, just cut your losses. And it's like, dude, it's fucking 2 games. Can we stop? Can we stop acting like this guy, like what we're doing here, as if he's taking time away from somebody else that may be better being on the field? Like, dude, you paid the guy. You didn't pay him a whole hell of a lot, okay? He's definitely got some talent left in the bag. And it's 2 games. Yeah, coughing up that ball there and that fumble was rough. But, I mean, he was what, like 3 inches away from being down? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I don't – with all the negatives that you could have focused in on that loss to Dallas, that's the thing that people want to like as if like to equate it to the Rangers, like he's Barkley Goudreau taking up a huge piece of the cap. Like that's not the case. Like if he wins one game this season, right, and down at the end or in overtime, it's worth the money spent. No.
Yeah, I want to say his cap number is $7 million if he hits certain incentives, and if not, I think it's like 4 or 3 or something like that.
Didn't he not have a preseason? So it's like it really was only his second game.
He didn't. This is his second game total in pads, playing in the system. Like, give the guy a break. Not a break, but give him a second to acclimate. And in the same breath, those people that are going to poo-poo on Dalvin Cook for not playing at a Pro Bowl level in his second game in pads for the New York Jets are like, get a new quarterback. This quarterback sucks. As if it's not harder to play quarterback than it is to play running back, and you're just going to go into the NFL, go into a new team with a new system, and just be like, I get it. This is like it's Madden. Like it's Madden.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, dude. The whole Zach Wilson thing, I think at this point, enough. Fucking Tom Brady. You're not getting Tom Brady to come in. I love these fucking people that really think. Like, we posted a thing goofing around about it, and people are arguing with us like, that can't happen, right? It's like, you understand that it's a fucking joke, right? Like, you understand that.
Take it so hard.
Like, so if I fucking threw that, like, yo, Joe Namath coming back. He's not done. He made another deal with the devil, and he wants to get 2 Super Bowl rings. Like, that would also be a joke. Like, people need to pump the brakes, but I think everybody's focusing on, like, oh, who could we bring in right now because you can't go with Zach Wilson? It's like, dude, we're going with Zach Wilson. That's the situation we're in right now. It sucks. The Jets and Woody Johnson did absolutely everything they could to put together a Super Bowl team, and Aaron Rodgers got fucking hurt. It is what it is. You can't now go out and just manufacture. Like, you're not going to go out and find a fucking Kurt Warner sitting on the street corner somewhere and be like, hey, you want to throw the ball around? It's not going to happen.
Even the Rams didn't have Kurt Warner before he was Kurt Warner. They didn't know who he was. When Trent Green went down, the season was over, and that was it. My other problem is the same conversation with the offensive line. Well, Joe Douglas hasn't done enough to address the offensive line. On the contrary, he absolutely has. He's drafted an offensive lineman in every single draft since he's been – I want to say he's drafted 2 offensive linemen in every single draft since he's been the GM. Some have panned out, some have not. Mekhi Becton is actually playing at a pretty decent level right now, a pretty high level for having switched from one side to the other. All right.
Everyone wanted him gone too.
AVT is doing a great job, as he always does. Who could have possibly forecasted Laken Tomlinson, who's a Pro Bowl freaking guard with the 49ers, coming to the Jets and forgetting how to play guard? Dwayne Brown, I understand, is older. I get it. He's not playing up to par. It happens. But ultimately, like, what would you like him to do? Again, the same thing with the quarterback. There's no left tackle, not on a roster right now, that's just going to be signed. Just go get one. They exist. They're out there. There's 325-pound guys that are 6'7" that can pass block, standing on every street corner. You can pick them off the tree ripe for the picking. That doesn't exist. And nobody's trading you one in the second week of the season. You hear guys out there saying, get Kirk Cousins. Why would the Vikings give you Kirk Cousins? For what? For what? I'm not even going to sit here and try and say like Kirk Cousins isn't a good quarterback. If Kirk Cousins came to the Jets, arguably he'd probably be, other than Aaron Rodgers, the greatest quarterback the Jets ever had. But that's not the point. Kirk Cousins ain't fucking coming, period. The Vikings are not trading him in week 2.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to – if they're going to trade him, it's going to be in like week 6, 7, 8, like around the trade deadline.
They got to be out. They just traded for Cam Akers. Why are they getting rid of Kirk Cousins?
Well, they're not getting rid of him, but I'm just saying, even if you were to bring in someone like Kirk Cousins or Matthew Stafford, it's not coming to week 6 or 7, and then you're going to expect him to just step into a new system and automatically know it and be much better than Zach Wilson.
Anybody who watched that game on Sunday that thinks Zach Wilson was the problem doesn't understand the concept of football, and they just hate Zach Wilson because he's more handsome than they are. He grew up with more money than they do, and he fucked their mom. That's the only reason they dislike this man. If you watch that game and you don't see any type of growth, those are the reasons you dislike him.
this is the issue. It's everybody focuses on the red zone. Everybody has red zone vision, right? Everybody watches the red zone in between, especially if you're a fucking Jet fan and you start losing, you flip on the fucking red zone, right? You want to, and you see the 5 or 6 elite quarterbacks in the league throwing all over the place nonstop, and you think, why can't we have that? And we did have that for 4 fucking plays, and he got hurt. It's not like you could just be like, oh, let's just pull another top 5 quarterback out of the fucking air. That's not how it works, dude. I don't get what people want. And, it's hilarious. Like, every once in a while, I generally don't listen to sports radio anymore. I can't do it in the car ride because I just get angry, and then I end up getting into like a road rage incident. But some dude called up the fan this week and was like, I don't understand why the Jets don't use a first-round pick for an O-lineman. And it's like, you really just fucking said that. Like, you really just said that. Like, oh, you know what would be great for this team? Let's get an O-lineman at like the number 6 or 7 spot. No, even better. Let's trade up and spend a whole bunch of money and then take an O-lineman at like number 2. Because that's what we need. That's what's going to change the team.
You can do that. We did that with Mekhi Becton. He was a first-round pick on an O-lineman.
Yeah.
Right. But people think that, like, oh, no, let's say in this situation where the Giants took Saquon Barkley, everybody ripped into them, right? Like, you taking a running back in that position, running backs don't last, whatever. Imagine now doing that, but taking an O-lineman.
I think that's okay if he's the right O-lineman. I'll tell you right now. Here's my problem.
You would have to be an O-lineman in college that is just like insane. That you're holding up fucking 3 or 4 guys by yourself. That there's never ending, because guess what happens when you play in MetLife Stadium? If that O-lineman twists the fucking knee, you're back to square one anyway. So you're really, and that's a lot more impact than a quarterback.
Well, that's what happened though. That's 100% what happened. Again, even in the instance right now, what we're talking about. The Patriots trading with the Steelers, right? So that the Steelers would take the Jets pick at the left tackle position, right? That guy's a bum right now. Go look at his stats. He's allowing pressures. He is not playing at a high rate. So what would have been the point? Like people are mad that we drafted McDonald. He didn't play on Sunday. I'm not saying that's a smart move on the Jets coaching staff, but I will say that the other guy that they would have drafted, supposedly, everybody said that the Jets would have drafted this guy. He's not playing well. So what difference does it make? So that we could have something else to gripe about. Instead of Dwayne Brown, it's this 23-year-old kid whose career is just starting, and we're going to destroy him instead because that's what New York fans do. We don't build anybody up. We just tear them down. We can't wait for the fall so that mob mentality can rip them from the graces of everything.
And not only do we do that, we don't focus on the obvious. We just want to focus on, oh, this is bullshit and we suck. It's like, I'm sorry, who's on Dallas breaking through and getting pressure on Zach Wilson?
The best pass rusher in the NFL.
Yeah, I was mistaken. I thought he was just some fucking bum off the street that we were just letting right through like Swiss cheese. Oh, no, that's right. The fucking dude that everybody would pay out the ass for right now on their team.
Micah Parsons is a force to be reckoned with.
Imagine passing up on drafting him. Whew. Who did that?
Giants.
Yeah, the Giants did it. Dave Gettleman did it. That's why.
I just want to point out, talking about the Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs tore his ACL in a game against the Jets, and he's out for the season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he heard it in practice today.
Oh, was it in practice? I thought it was
practice. Yeah, it was a non-contact injury in practice. He fell. They said.
Well, I guarantee I could almost put money down they were playing on turf.
What I want to say is the Giants did not waste a pick because Evan Neal, we don't know, but Evan Neal was a first-round pick too.
So was
Flowers.
Wanted
him. What's that?
So was Eric Flowers.
Yeah, Eric Flowers is another one they wasted on. That was a waste. Eric Flowers is bad. But yeah, I mean, I get your point, but I have a question for you guys as Jet fans now. If we were, let's say if there was some sort of scenario if this was to occur, which of the 3 quarterbacks would you want if you were going to trade for one? Would it be Jameis Winston, Matthew Stafford, or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
You wouldn't want Stafford? I thought Stafford would be.
No, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins over Stafford, huh?
I don't think Stafford especially, I don't know, as complicated as the systems that our new offensive coach runs, right? Like, that's what everybody wants to talk about. Oh, that's why we had to get rid of him in Denver. right? Like his system is too hard to learn, and I don't think you introduced Matthew Stafford into that situation.
No.
I don't know.
I
was never high on Matthew Stafford to begin with, and I understand I'm a Jeff fan, but
Matt Stafford is an older guy, and our offensive line is trash. So, I mean, I'm not saying that Kirk is the most mobile guy in the world, but he's more mobile than Stafford is for certain.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Stafford's older, right? I wasn't sure who was older. Yeah. Stafford's older. Okay. So no one wants Jameis? I feel like that'd be fun.
Listen. I'm a Florida State guy. I love Jameis Winston, but at this point, he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I was going to say, I think Jameis Winston. Well, the problem is Jameis Winston, in my mind, is on the same level as Zach Wilson is, except Zach Wilson's younger and has the ability still to possibly excel and learn more.
That's not necessarily fair. Jameis Winston has led the NFL in yardage as a quarterback.
He did. He had that 1 year. Remember, he was 30 for 30, 30 interceptions, 30 touchdowns, and he had 5,000 yards.
Yep.
Insane.
But that being said, I think that if you haven't seen growth from Zach Wilson at the position of quarterback, you are not paying attention, because him playing now is like night and day. And the comments made by Garrett Wilson about what happened on Sunday speak volumes about what the team is thinking, because Garrett Wilson came out and he's like, well, Zach's doing his thing back there when he has the time to do his thing. And he kind of just put it on the offensive line like, Zach's doing his fucking best with what he's got, which is nothing. And good for Garrett Wilson. Put a goddamn C on his chest because he deserves it.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, dude. If Aaron Rodgers was in that game against Micah Parsons, I guarantee you he's not dropping back and fucking taking the 10 seconds he's used to taking and letting it fly. He's going to be under pressure. He's going to be getting rid of the ball quick, and you're going to have the same amount of 3 and outs. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. You can't just fucking build time to get rid of the ball. Whether it's Zach Wilson or it's Aaron Rodgers or it's Tom Brady, it doesn't matter. If the play is called, right, and you have guys running down the field and aren't ready to throw the ball, you can't just get rid of it and make a completion.
So,
I don't understand what you want. If you don't have fucking 3 seconds to get rid of the ball, no one's making that pass.
It's impossible.
So a couple things I saw on the Twitter. I took a week off from Twitter, but because of comments like this, I haven't really been on Twitter this week because of it. But one of the things I saw was the reason that they were able to pass rush like that is because they don't respect Zach Wilson, and that Aaron Rodgers is known for getting the ball out quickly. I will concede that yes, they probably don't respect Zach Wilson, but you do have to respect Garrett Wilson. And you're gonna do that.
Right.
The other thing I'll say is, for a person that is known for getting the ball out quickly, that is the exact reason that Aaron Rodgers is out for the season, because he did not get the ball out quickly on that one particular play.
He scrambled around. He should have got rid of the ball.
Yeah.
There was a pass wide open to Garrett Wilson, almost within immediate snap of the football. He dropped back 3 steps. The pass is open. He looks at him and he decides, I'm not going to go there, and that's when he got sacked. So I don't think that. I think the Jets still lose on Sunday.
Patriot Sports Radio checking in. What's up, boys?
Always good to see somebody. Speaking of the Patriots,
absolutely.
Jets play the Patriots on Sunday. It is definitely a wild time for Patriots and Dolphins fans. Rest in peace. A Dolphins fan apparently murdered a Patriots fan at the game. Guys, it's a fucking game.
Wait, what?
That's disgusting. Yeah, it happened. Yeah. He punched a guy and then he fell and hit his head against the seat.
He punched him twice.
Like in the head. And they said the guy wasn't even saying at the Dolphin fan, the New England Patriot fan wasn't really doing anything. He was just not minding his own business, I'm sure. But I'm sure he didn't they would say he was no cursing. There's not an offensive said, and the guy just fucking hit him and he dropped. And the worst part is he's next to his teenage son. It's you gotta be kidding me. This is a football game. There's
gentleman's name was
no need for any of that.
The gentleman's name was Dale Mooney. Yeah, a real shame. You know what? Somebody actually mentioned to me the other day, and it was something like, sports betting is going to cause scenarios like this to happen because somebody's going to sit there and bet the farm on a game, and their team's going to lose, and they're going to lose everything, and somebody else is going to be like, yeah, go team, and they're going to murder them because now they're homeless because they bet their freaking mortgage on the game.
But that doesn't, like, number one, if you're unstable enough to bet your mortgage on a game, you're a fucking idiot. But
I just want you to know that
I don't know, dude. We've been
the whole game. I'm pretty sure he did that.
No, I did not.
It's funny, dude, because there's certain stadiums that are just notorious that you're going to have problems, right? Like, you literally can't go to an Eagles game rocking a Giants jersey because you're probably going to get assaulted. Like, it's not even if you did like one of those hidden cameras, right? Like if you got Chris Hansen out there and instead of trying to grab people trying to touch kids and shit and flirt with them on the internet, if you just had him like, oh, I'm Chris Hansen and I'm in a Eli Manning jersey. This is Philadelphia. He's not making it like into the stadium. It's like, oh my God, Chris Hansen's dead.
Well, funny thing you said that was because a Vikings fan last week on Thursday night, the woman who went in was like not showing that she's recording them, but kind of almost like hidden cameras and everything. And the entire way in from her walking from her car to the stadium, they're like cursing at her. They're in her face, yelling at go Philly, go Philly. Like, fuck you. All of them has the middle fingers up. Like, it was brutal for her. And it's just a woman trying to go to the football game. I would never personally go to a game in Philadelphia at all.
But you know what, though, team? The problem that I saw is that this was a Patriots home game. This guy, the Dolphins fan, was not at home. He was away.
Yeah.
He's out there faulting people in the opponent's stadium.
Yeah.
I understand in that situation, but it's just I don't understand the mentality of people. Like, how many times have we gone to I've been to plenty of Oriole games in Baltimore in my Yankees Baltimore, and it's nothing but awesome. Dude, if you can't like have a friendly ribbing with like opposite fans and joke around and have a good time, like what's the fucking point? Like your life's not on the line. Yeah, dude, have fun with it. Like anytime I've ever been to a Ranger game, and I go to a lot of games that are Islander games or Devils games, and those are two big rivalries as far as being right next to within driving distance of the opposing team's stadium, right? And it's always fun. It's always just goofing around. It's never violent. It's never crazy. I don't understand that aspect of like, hey, I'm going to go and try to get into a problem. I'm going to go and try to start a fight. I mean, or just be an asshole to some opposing fan or throw a beer on somebody's kid. Like, I've seen that, and it's insane.
You know what, though? It's happened to me. I went to the Rangers-Predators game. I'm walking through the stadium, minding my business, wearing a Rangers jersey, and somebody hit me in my chest and, like, ran away. Like, just slapped me on my chest and was like, trash, and then literally ran away. Like, if I would have been able to get my hands on that guy, I probably would have went to jail and ruined my brother-in-law's bachelor party. But in my head, I was so taken aback because I was like, I can't believe somebody just put their hands on me in the middle. I didn't do anything to them. I'm just walking. I was literally going to my seat, like, or to the bathroom or something like that. And somebody hit me, and I was like, I'm fuming. My friend Dwayne grabs me and he's like, "What's wrong, bro?" I'm like, "Yo, somebody just fucking hit me. I'm gonna go find them and break their hillbilly jaw." And Dwayne looks at me, and Dwayne goes, "Nick, I'm black. You're brown. You ain't doing nothing, bro. We're in Nashville, Tennessee." I said, "Fair enough, Dwayne. Let's go watch the game."
Yeah, I went to a Bruins game, and we were for my friend, my cousin's bachelor party, and we were all in our Rangers jersey. No one bothered us. No one gave us a hard time. I mean, granted, there was like 10 of us, and we're all like, you know, one of the guys with us was like 6'5". So like, when you have one of those bigger guys, no one really mess with you. But I mean, no one really gave us a hard time. No one really cursed us out. I mean, they knew at the time we knew the Rangers would make the playoffs. Boston wasn't. And as we were leaving, the Rangers lost the game like 5-0. And some guy was just like, "Fuck you" to me. Like, as I walked out, I'm just like, whatever, dude. Like, it's not like I'm not gonna start a fight with you because you told me fuck you because I'm wearing different clothing than you. Like, we're cheering for laundry at this point. Like, we're all human beings. There's really no point to start a fight in the middle of a game.
But see, there's a better way of going about it. Like, be clever. It's not clever to say "fuck you." Be clever. Like, walk up to you and be like, "Yo, fucking long and lonely drive home after losing, huh, bud?" Like,
yeah.
What are you gonna say to that? You're gonna be like, "Yeah, fucking suck, dude." Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you look at the guy and go, "I heard your mother sleeps with squeaks."
Play ball like a girl.
Let's talk about Justin Fields for a second. I know it's not New York. We're usually on a New York train, but let's talk about, I just want to point out that if Justin Fields played for a New York team, he would be getting crucified worse than Zach Wilson.
Right.
Like, you realize there was people walking around talking about how Justin Fields was an MVP candidate before the season started.
He's a top 100 player, though. That's for sure. So
he was voted a top 100 player, for Christ's sake.
Higher than Trevor Lawrence. He was at 88. Trevor Lawrence is 91.
Oh my God!
He's a fantastic running back.
He's great.
He's quarterback. Oh, my bad. I didn't realize he throws the ball. Oh, okay.
Not well.
Have you ever seen him throw the ball? He does
not often.
Yes. I've seen him also sit there and hold the ball for about 5 minutes trying to decide whether or not he should throw it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I just want to say that when damn it, what was his name? Who was the guy that used to play for Missouri that he came to the Jets and we had a wildcat formation just for him? He was a wide receiver, but he played quarterback in college.
Oh man,
the name escapes me.
Oh shit!
He actually lost his shoe on Thursday Night Football. The Thanksgiving game, he ran a kickback for a touchdown with one shoe.
Yeah.
His name is escaping me right now.
I can't think. I know exactly who you're talking about.
But that man was more decisive in his throws than Justin Fields is.
Odell Beckham is more decisive in his throws than Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is just not good, man. He's just not good.
Wait, do you have the graphic I sent you? The picture I sent you? Do you have that or no?
I don't believe I do. I don't. I do not, because I would have owed somebody a lot of money for that.
Dude,
it was Brad Smith, by the way. Brad Smith.
That's what it was.
While we're still on football, we pretty much just did our whole show on football. But why not? It is football season. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I got to meet Boomer Esiason today, and he's a giant man. Like, you don't realize like how giant football players are, especially quarterbacks. He's just a giant man. Like, insanely tall, insanely big, hell of a nice guy, and still has a cannon of an arm. I was really tempted to be like, yo, fuck radio, bud. Get out there.
You should have told him that his son-in-law sucks at football.
Baseball. Hockey, you mean?
That's what I said.
Hockey.
I'm tough. All right. I know it's hockey.
I think he and his son-in-law would both equally beat me up. So, dude, so he came we had the Department of Sanitation, Emerald Society golf outing, and it supports cystic fibrosis and the Boomer Esiason Foundation.
You're a sanitation worker?
Unbelievably, I'm a supervisor, actually. I don't pick up garbage. I watch other people pick up garbage. It's awesome.
My bad.
He's big time.
Yeah, look out. We've been doing it for a while now. Donating to cystic fibrosis. All the proceeds from the golf outing go to cystic fibrosis and the Boomer Esiason Foundation. So he came down this year and brought a whole bunch of like footballs and stuff like that and signed them. And then he was just firing them to people. It was awesome. Hit my father right in the chest. Made fun of my father first for being short, and then hit him in the chest. And my father picked it up and then ran at him with it.
Big Tom for the win,
dude. Another guy, one of our friends, he threw him a pass and it hit him right in the face. He completely missed the catch.
In the face. Took a full Marshall Brady straight to the face.
Yeah, it was but hell of a nice guy. Sat there, and I mean, you're talking about 160 something golfers in this thing. He sat there, shook hands, took pictures with everybody. Awesome dude, man. And then was just sitting there answering questions about like the Jets and like hockey, like Rangers. Huge Ranger fan. So, but again, I was just amazed at how giant these men are and like how tiny. Like, I was like, oh yeah, 5'7". That's kind of normal. Like, no, it's not. I felt like a midget.
Well, listen,
little person, whatever.
When I was a younger man, my supervisor, when I was a lifeguard for the New York City Department of Corrections. Wow, Parks and Recreation.
God,
that's my supervisor.
Slip of the tongue. I guess we don't have to ask what neighborhood you were lifeguarding.
It's Stapleton. Anyway, my supervisor was on the practice squad for the Lions when he was younger. His name was Clarence McNatt, and he's 6'8", 365 pounds. And he was a giant man. Like, you shook his hand, and he would only ever give you like 2 fingers, because that was like the size of a human hand.
Yeah.
If he gave you his full hand, yours would disappear. We had a pull-up bar that we used to do pull-ups on. He went to go do it one day, and one of the clamps gave out, and it was crooked from that point forward.
That's
awesome.
But I digress. We move on.
Genetic specimens.
I just want to say, wait 1 second. Are you part of the Colombian Association too?
All of it, yeah.
No, remember that's how we got in the ice.
Hey, my dudes, I bought a card for all of those.
The Asian Jade Society.
That it's funny how we just managed to get on the ice when we went to that Ranger game, and it's also Columbia Association night with Department of Sanitation. You're like, you know these people? I'm like, yeah, but whatever. I'm on the ice for a different reason.
Yeah,
we know people.
I can't wait to go to a game with you guys this year. We'll meet up with Jason and we'll definitely have a good time. Can't wait. But we're gonna go into more important things right now.
Whiskey of the week.
What are we drinking, guys?
I didn't even pour this out yet.
Oh, I didn't.
All right,
I always start off. Somebody else start off tonight.
I'll start off right now because I've been drinking. This guy's sitting over here drinking marijuana-laced freaking beer from Massachusetts.
Hoppy.
That looks like marijuana sprouts on the bottom of that can.
It does. It does. You're right.
I'm drinking Old Granddad, courtesy of our friend Chris McCormick, whose thank you card I got in the mail today for going to his wedding. Thank you, Chris. Old Granddad is good. You know what's really surprising to me about Old Granddad? This is the most surprising thing. Usually you get a quality whiskey or rum or anything, and it comes in this kind of a fashion, right? Like nice cork, get that nice pop, right? But this Old Granddad, which is a quality bourbon, right? Screw top.
Yeah, I see that.
Well, to be fair, it's a quality bourbon at its price point, which is about like $18.
No, I got that part, but it's very surprising. It's
surprising at the value to quality ratio. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. I happen to like the Old Granddad. See, I messed up. I went with a different one. I have Old Granddad 114 sitting back there. I should have went with that tonight. We should have collabed a little bit, but I happen to like the Old Granddad bottled and bond 100 proof, and then the 114. That one is very good. It's very smooth, but the value is in the price point. So yes, plastic screw top. Who gives a crap if you can get a bottle like that under $20 and it tastes that good?
Oh no. I'm not knocking it.
You know what I mean?
It was surprising because with the value, right, with the quality of the content, right, I would think a higher value to the bottle in general. But that's not
if they threw a cork in there and added $6 to the price, you'd still be happy with the purchase. I'm with you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just surprised. Very surprised.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I'm going with just you can't go wrong. Little Eagle Rare. Haven't sipped on it in a while, and I was just feeling it tonight. High on my horse. Didn't go to work today. Went golfing instead. Got to meet a football legend in Boomer Esiason, and I was like, let me celebrate a little bit. So I pulled out the Eagle Rare, and it always hits so nice. It just sucks. It's an allocated bottle. I'm not one of these people that'll sit there and tell you to spend $100 on this because it's not. I remember paying $27 for this when I started drinking bourbon. Now you're looking at probably $35, $36 if you can get it at MSRP, and you're still not going to get it at MSRP. But for a 10-year bourbon that's under $40 MSRP, it's amazing, dude. Smooth, delicious, very sweet, but has that nice oakiness that comes with that 10-year age statement. I think if you could pick one of these up under $60, it's always a buy. Anything over than that, that's a little crazy. Unless you've never tried it before. At that point, then get a little adventurous. If you get the money to spend, screw it. Who am I to tell you not to do it? But I love Eagle Rare 10-year, clearly, as the bottle's dwindling down. But always a good choice.
I don't have a bottle.
You want to give us the breakdown on your hoppy beer, your weed beer?
No, I was going to say, I actually recently I was having the, what's the 1792? Is that the one you told Matt to get me?
1792, yeah, delicious.
Yeah, that one's actually pretty good. And I think it's not, what is it, that price? You probably know the price much better than me. It's like 30.
1792 is like 30-something bucks for that. You got the regular one, right?
Yeah, the regular one, nothing special.
80,
yeah.
What is it, like 80?
Oh, right there, small batch, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's actually really good.
That's the.
Go ahead, sorry.
1792 is very sweet.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I like about it. It's a good. has a really good flavor with it. I can't remember what it was because I was having it the other day, but I was sipping on that this week. I've been going through each bottle like every now and then because I have so many right now. So that one was
fancy man with all your whiskey.
Yeah. Well, you guys dropped off a bunch of them for the housewarming party, so that was helpful. So
it's always good to have a random party just to replenish the stock, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, guys, I'm celebrating. What are we celebrating? I don't know. Just show up and bring a bottle.
Yeah, bring some bourbon, please.
You were both there when I turned 30, and I was drinking scotch from that party for like the next 5 years. I think I finally drank my last bottle of scotch last year.
Wow.
Because everybody bought me Black Label. So two people bought me Blue Label. I was drinking that. You guys bought me whiskey. You guys got me scotch for that party too. The both of you got me a separate bottle apiece.
Trying to remember.
I think TJ got me double black.
No, you son of a bitch.
I'm pretty sure Rook, you got me a black. So like I was drinking Black Label scotch for 5 years, chilling, and I finally drank my last bottle of Blue Label last year.
Nice, there you go.
I got a bottle of Blue Label sitting up there. Every once in a while, I bust that out. I don't think Blue Label is one of those ones where it's worth spending the $200, but it is a good whiskey.
A blended whiskey, it is good whiskey.
So 3rd and 15, Giants play prevent defense. Swing pass out to Deebo Samuel, takes it for.
First of all, if anybody who watches football should know, prevent defense, all it does is prevent you from winning. That's all it does. I don't know why anybody in the NFL will ever run a prevent defense.
And now you gave all the momentum back. They had 3rd and 15. They were playing well. Now the momentum's back.
Again, let's just say this right now. Deebo Samuel is a damn fine football player. Really just everything he does is very impressive.
Phenomenal player.
A lot of respect to Deebo Samuel. A lot of respect to the Niners. They're a good organization. I appreciate most of what they do in the NFL.
Not for nothing. The fact that this game is just 3-3, that's actually impressive on the Giants' end.
I was going to say the same thing. Good for the Giants. Go Big Blue! Go Big Blue!
Does that? No one ever does it. Worst.
Oh,
here we go. Christian McCaffrey.
You're a little bit behind. You know how long it took me to realize that Christian McCaffrey is the son of Ed McCaffrey?
Yeah, former Giant.
Yeah.
Former Bronco?
He was a former Giant, too. He played for the Giants for a little bit.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but does he tell people about it?
Do you know how I know? Because Dennis has an Ed McCaffrey Giants jersey.
There goes Christian. Oof.
My sister's last name is McCaffrey. She married into McCaffrey family.
That's right.
Nice.
Irish and Italian go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like lamb and tuna fish.
My sister always looked Irish.
Wait, hold on. Like what?
You never seen Big Daddy?
Yeah.
I have.
Maybe you prefer spaghetti and meatball? Is that a better analogy? Yeah. Yeah, because this is America.
Steve Buscemi is the homeless guy. Yeah.
That movie is like an hour and 5 minutes long.
Not my fault. Your father was sick. I'll come down there and give you crew cut.
Everybody loves that movie, and I watch it. I'm like, this movie's like 20 minutes long. Why does anybody give this any credence whatsoever?
That movie's great.
It is a really good movie. It's short.
It's funny for the hour that it's on, but it's really a really short movie. Like
it's longer than that. It's like an hour 30, but it's a short movie.
It's a very short movie. Like I guess
it taught me like prepping to be a dad when my son was born. It taught me everything I needed to know. If he
your father taught you everything you needed to know.
I quote that movie about being a dad. I quote that movie probably about 3 or 4 times a day. And the only line I use is, all right. When he's just screwing up and he's like, put on the movie, put on the movie.
Because all he wants to watch. That is like, bro, at that moment, I realized it's like, wait a second. You're not a real Ranger fan. Because they have a fucking penalty shot in overtime. And the kid's flipping out because he wants to watch the Kangaroo Song fucking video. And he actually puts it on for him. I'd have been like, yo, dude, you can go like out in the hallway. And if somebody takes you right now, fucking good on them. Because there's a penalty shot in overtime. We're watching this shit.
Oh my God.
And with that, that's our show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you next week.